Hello. Today, our movie recap is The Unhealer, a gripping supernatural thriller about a bullied teenager who gains powerful healing abilities that turn deadly when he seeks revenge on his tormentors. Enjoy the intense journey.
Reverend Pfluger, an old and weak man, is performing a ritual at the Indian burial grounds at the beginning of the movie. Suddenly, a lightning strike hits him and throws him away. He walks away with a smile on his face, indicating that the ritual worked. The scene then shifts to a teen named Kelly, who has a disorder called pica. He would rather eat the styrofoam cup than the ramen inside it. Soon after, Nelson and the other mean kids in his class confront him, calling him a trash boy. Dominique stands up for him, but the boys ignore her and start shoving Kelly into a trash can while one of them records the whole thing. Dom gives him a ride to school in Sarah's car after the boys run away. Kelly gets to school while eating his styrofoam cup. His friends at school are making fun of him because the video has gone viral. Kelly goes home from school and meets his mom, Bernice. He picks up a receipt and eats it while helping her. On the other hand, Dom's mom thinks she's falling in love with Nelson, but Dom denies it because she can't have a crush on a bully. It frustrates her that her mom also thinks Kelly is weird. It turns out that Dom has liked Kelly since they were in middle school. The story then shifts to Red Elk, a Native American who just found out that the burial site's hidden power has been taken. Because of his eating disorder, Kelly's body is not getting better. He is weak and not getting enough food. Doctor can't help him because he thinks it's a mental problem. Pfluger finally shows up again, and this time he claims to have a superpower that can cure all illnesses. The fact that he can heal an old woman of her illness by touching her shocks everyone nearby. She witnesses the miracle and asks the old man to help heal Kelly. He agrees to help. Red Elk suddenly approaches Pfluger and slaps him, but the pain is transferred to Red Elk instead. The old man feels no pain at all. Red Elk then says that the healing power doesn't belong to Pfluger and will eventually kill him. He tells Pfluger to give back the power, but the arrogant old man refuses and walks away. Bernice goes home, and Pfluger accompanies her. The old man starts the healing process right away because Kelly's condition is worsening, but it seems like he can suddenly feel Kelly's pain. He takes a short break and eats his magic powder because he is uncomfortable. He then continues to care for the poor boy. However, Pfluger experiences terrible pain when he touches Kelly, causing him to drop his cigarette on Kelly's chest. Despite his efforts to fight the pain, Pfluger collapses and dies right there. After a short time, Kelly magically becomes more energized and says he's hungry. In the end, the police show up, and Adler notices that the cigarette burn hole on Kelly's chest has disappeared, which confuses Kelly's mom. The next day, Kelly cuts his finger while fixing his bike, but the wound magically heals. He tries to tell his mom what happened, but she doesn't believe him. On his way to school, Kelly runs into Dom and Sarah. They are shocked to see that Kelly is in better health and shape than he was the previous day. Nelson's brother Reed confronts Kelly after they leave and starts punching him. Reed feels the pain while Kelly doesn't. Reed even tries to hurt Kelly with a piece of wood but fails. When Reed realizes that he can't harm the new Kelly, he runs away with cuts all over his face. That night, Gus, Reed's dad and the football coach at their school, shows up to find out what really happened. Reed claims he hurt himself. Gus tells them to leave, but he doesn't believe the story. Kelly finally tells his mom about his pain-transferring power and promises that no one will ever hurt them again. He can handle the cigarette lighter too. Next day, Kelly's wild imagination takes over while he is in class, picturing himself with Dom, who acts out. Sarah comes along, even though she really doesn't like Kelly. Strangely, the feelings from his imagination also affect Dom and Sarah in real life, making Sarah scream with pleasure. The boys try to bother and seduce Dom at a campfire event, but this time Kelly shows up and protects her. They're about to fight when Gus steps in and stops them. That night, Kelly is walking home when the boys see him and try to scare him. Kelly panics and tries to get away from the car. He falls off his bike and the car hits him by accident. However, Kelly is not hurt at all. Instead, Brad, the driver of the car, feels all the pain, which kills him instantly. When the other boys see that Kelly is okay, they are terrified and run away from the scene. Soon afterwards, the police and others show up at the crime scene. He tells his mom about the events and shows Dom his power. Nelson, on the other hand, claims that Kelly pulled himself in front of the car on purpose and that the airbag killed Brad. Dom and Kelly's relationship continues to improve. He even asks Dom to go on a date, but the boys want to get back at them and are making a plan. Red Elk confronts Kelly at work and asks him how he was able to survive the car accident. Kelly says that Pfluger helped him and doesn't know anything about the power. Later, Kelly goes home and finds that his mom is not feeling well. He goes to get an aspirin. The boys have been waiting outside the house and think Bernice left. Planned, they start pulling the base of the container with Gus's car, which makes it fall and break the gas pipe. Bernice tries to get out of the house, but gas leaks cause it to explode, killing her instantly. At night, Kelly gets home and is devastated to hear that his mother has died. He is taken to the hospital, where Adler shows up and tries to help him. Elk suddenly confronts Adler and tells him that Kelly is using their ancestors' power, asks Adler to help him get back the power. Kelly goes to Pfluger's grave after his mother's funeral and accidentally eats a vine, making him hurt and throw up. Sarah sees what's going on and leaves. Adler offers the poor kid a place to live with a foster family as a way to help him. Adler tells them on the way that the supports for the container were pulled out on purpose, and that his mom's death wasn't an accident. After, Nelson and the boys, who are on their way to the river, see Kelly
and make fun of him from their car. From that point on, Kelly concludes that they killed his mother.
He then jumps out of the police car. They are having fun by the river when Kelly finally sees them. Tucker jumps into the water. The other kids start throwing rocks at him. Tucker's shirt is taken by Kelly as he sneaks in. He eats it before strangling himself, as he always does. Tucker feels the effect right away, which makes him drown. Reed is running away. Nelson tries to help him, but it's too late. Then Kelly shows up and tries to do the same thing, but Adler arrives just in time and Kelly runs away. Tucker is dead, and Adler starts searching the boys for clues. They tell him Kelly did it. After hearing about what Tucker did, Dom tells Kelly to stop killing people and to get them to confess instead. The next day, Kelly is late to chemistry class and makes fun of Tony, which provokes Tony to say that he killed Kelly's mom. Tony is very angry and throws a chemical solution at Kelly's face. Instead, it burns Tony's face and kills him instantly. Girls are shocked, and Kelly runs off while Adler walks into the class. That night, Sarah approaches Nelson and tells him what she saw at the funeral earlier. They visit the grave of Pfluger and take the plant that made Kelly sick earlier. Nelson makes the mixture and keeps it in an extinguisher. The next day, Adler finds the chains that were used to remove Kelly's container supports off the ground in Gus's truck. He then confronts the boys and forces them to confess, but they keep lying and saying they don't know anything. Sarah sneaks in from the other side and takes Nelson's power drill. Suddenly, Kelly shows up with his gun. Just as Nelson is getting ready with his fire extinguisher, Kelly starts to hit his own knee with a drill, making Nelson feel the same pain. Red Elk finally convinces Adler of what he said earlier, but Dom stops him. Nelson tries to shoot Kelly with the liquid that weakens him. This gives Gus a chance to shoot Nelson with Adler's gun, but the bullet hits Gus and kills him instead. Kelly has let Dom down, so Dom begs him to give the power back to Red Elk. In the end, he reluctantly agrees. To make a long story short, Red Elk and Adler start the ceremony of passing on the power in front of Pfluger's grave. But since Kelly had the power, they had to kill him. Dom tries to help Kelly get away, but the police shoot them and throw them to Pfluger's grave. Kelly blames the old man for giving him so much power because he can't save Dom. Kelly then eats Pfluger's heart and dies suddenly. Dom suddenly comes back to life in the ambulance at the end of the movie, which shows that the power has been given to her. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a like.